Growing gap yamataura yekuti the poor and the rich. Gap racho rakanyanya kukura, vane mari vari kuramba vachingoita mari, then the poor vari kuramba vachingoita the poor.
Tinoenda kuma elections, you find kuti mune timboti pamwe maybe zvichinje zvendo pane mumwe timboona pfungwa dzemumwe. Dai ivo vakare vatungamiriri venyika ivavo nevari kukontesta ivavo vagara pasi vataurirana.
The huge majority of women who are economically active are in the so-called informal sector. But being in the informal sector, it means that the contribution of women is not taken into account when you evaluate and you assess what is your GDP. Because they don't have an economic formal presence. For governments, it's not only an issue of dignity and human rights as it is for me. It is even an economic issue. And for our societies, it's a social transformation issue.
We think of it as women in markets. That's literally how we think of the informal sector. Even the title informal is to disregard the importance and the contribution of those women to keeping the economy going. If there was not an informal sector, elements of our economy simply would not work. They're the highest employers. And yet, ask about access to finance, ask about the policies that would strengthen the ways they work, ask about safety, security. None of those things are in place.
Very difficult and say boss never can say let me but some new year be answer let me have but through that thing maybe a won person obey until over won ya juma nti say na so obey a ombre no obepa bibi say obey a obetimi asettle say na obey a obetimi anya bibi atwadwane adi.
We've created this narrative somehow that, hey, you know what, even if you're qualified as a woman, you can't get a job until you sleep with a man. And this is someone I'm talking about who has had some level of education. So again, imagine the woman on the street who hasn't had those opportunities and has no qualifications on paper. She's having to use her body and sex as currency to get through life. And it's a very disheartening thing.
You can see this inequality when it comes to the issue of wealth or the issue of livelihoods.
Panachiri kufamba because panofundzwa kuti waita profit ka unosvika zvinhu zvacho zvakwira ende mari yacho inenge isingakwane kunohodha saka unenge wechinyura zvekuti takatanga tine masaga asvika kuma 20 ka ukatotasa zvinhu izvi ka anenge ato less than 5 saka unenge uchitonyura every day apana chechitomboti.
C1, take one, action.
Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, welcome to the week public service announcement. Now, I'm here, comrades, just... Magamba Network, we started it back in 2007. We really wanted to set up, a movement that could inspire young people, motivate them, and to really encourage them to be part of the struggle for change in Zimbabwe.
Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, welcome to the week with me, Comrade Fatso.
Our ideal is really building a new Zimbabwe which has got participatory democracy, which has got social justice, which has got economic equality, which is green and sustainable, and we really try and push that through our programs.
One of the sayings we've had in the movement we built, the citizens movement we built, says, if we cannot cause the politician to change, then we must inspire the citizen to be bold.
This flag, this beautiful flag.
I one day sat in my small office with this very flag draped around my neck. And I said to them, we cannot, as a generation that is born from you, we cannot afford to let you continue to ransack the future. So we are standing up to you and asking you questions as to what has become of our wealth, what has become of our agriculture that we were so proud of, what has become of our freedoms that you went to war for. And so that video went viral and began a citizens' movement. And the crux of the movement is speaking truth to power. But we were speaking into three things: corruption, injustice, and poverty.
Pan-Africanism is important, especially in the economic sphere. It's important in terms of the dreams of the fathers of Africa. Inclusiveness in the choices that we make. Inclusiveness in terms of even in trade. Look at informal trade across the borders is more, in some countries, is more vibrant than the formal trade. So you have to bring in the people, the real people, to be an integral part of the decision that you make. It's actually a governance issue.
It's about changing our political system to make it more participatory. It's about coming up with, you know, a new economic system that works for the many and not the few, and that really guarantees equal access to resources, affordable social services, education, and so forth, that gives people dignified work and having a much more just economy.
To be an engaged citizen is to be an activist. I am one of the 51%, and I matter. All of us who are part of this matter. And mattering means action. And when you take action collectively in a strategic, focused, organized way, those who say they lead must not just listen, they must change. Why wouldn't you be an activist?